achieved.
Good morning, world, from Studio De Heffrey, a.k.a. the frozen food capital of the world. Went to the grocery store yesterday. Don't be late on something like that. People aren't kidding about the grocery store. I figured, I'll swing by and I'll pick up a bunch of chicken breast and maybe a pork loin, and I'll fire up the big green egg and everything will be good. There was nothing. I should have uploaded the picture. Nothing. No meat. None. No veggies. None. I did get 2 miniature cans of sweet peas, canned peas. That's what was left. Got frozen food. It's the frozen food capital of the world. Had chicken Alfredo this morning. So, I should have put my finger in my mouth. Sorry. Anyway, Cowboys stuff today. Let's do it. Got a few different things. One, a hearty goodbye with all my love to Byron Jones. Dude's a baller. Good luck in Miami. Congratulations on securing the bag, as they say. Byron Jones is a monster. He's a model teammate. He's a model dude. And he was everything that the Cowboys thought he was when they drafted him. It's not his fault that for 3 years they played him at safety instead of corner. But the 2 years that he played corner, all he was a top 5 corner in the league. So congratulations to Byron Jones. You deserve every dime. And I'm upset with the Cowboys for not keeping you around. Nothing more you could have done. Maybe you could have played running back or linebacker. Maybe you could have had some sort of injury, and then you would have been more marketable. I don't know. But Byron Jones is out of here. So we got a couple of things. Why am I bouncing? We got a couple of things we got to do today. With Byron Jones, I'll back off a skosh of a back off here. Excuse me. It's not the corona. Well, might be, but I've been testing for a fever every couple hours. I'm rocking a 97.7. I'm good. With Byron Jones, the interest in Chris Harris Jr., the former Bronco, kind of makes sense. And let's see, how much money is that dude going to get? Because the way you're supposed to do this, the way the best teams do this, is if you let a big money guy walk that's a really good player like Byron Jones, right now the Cowboys would be in line to get a third-round comp pick a year from now. But if you sign a free agent that is similar in money, whoop, you cancel that bad boy out. And you don't get that anymore. So I guess it would make sense if you wanted to replace Byron Jones with a free agent corner. Well, they have to. Let me start there. They have to replace Byron Jones with a free agent corner because this is how you're supposed to build a team. Captain Tradeback, the team building champion here. This is how you're supposed to build a team. You have free agency now, or technically tomorrow. You fill your needs in free agency. That's what you do. All of them. Because if you wait for the draft with a big glaring hole, you're going to screw up your draft. You're going to draft for need, and that's the worst way to do things. Cheap labor in the NFL is a gold mine. So what you want to do is draft the best values you can all the way through the draft. So you sign free agents for need, and you draft for value. That way, you're making sure that the guys that you're getting for 4 years, that you're picking the guy who can help you the most, and you don't worry much. Obviously, you have to worry a little bit. They're not going to pick a running back, right? Even if they think he's the best player, they're not going to pick one. But outside of the very, very obvious, this team absolutely cannot use that. There's no way that pick makes sense. Pick from as high on your board as you can in the draft. Pick for value. Free agency is to fill your needs. So they're going to have to sign a guy, whether it's Chris Harris Jr. or whether it's somebody else. And hopefully they're paying close attention to the comp pick formula so that they don't end up losing what could be a pretty nice pick that you get back for Byron Jones. Now, let's move on to Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb just signed a 3-year, was it 27, 28, whatever. Bill O'Brien is a terrible, terrible, terrible GM. While Stephon Diggs is getting traded for a 1 and a bunch of other stuff, he's out here trading DeAndre Hopkins for a 2 and absorbing the salary of a now washed-up running back, which I probably shouldn't say washed-up running back because no running back's washed up. They're just running backs. But they got a severely overpaid running back, and they gave away DeAndre Hopkins, and they only got a second-round pick for their trouble. So they're insane in Houston, and they just gave Randall Cobb $9 million a year, which obviously the Cowboys weren't going to be able to do that. So Here's how I want to replace Randall Cobb. Free agency, you got to add somebody. Or maybe you're one of those people who's a truther for one of the guys that's already here, like bringing back Tavon or Cedric Wilson or, a Brown guy. I don't know. But I don't think their slot receiver is on the roster. So you got to add somebody in free agency. But I want to go through the NFL draft potential, and I will give you a guy to replace Randall Cobb in every round in the top 5. How about that? First round, it's obvious. Stomp, why are you going in the closet? There's no food in the closet. It's just clothes. What are you doing? Stomp's going in the closet. Anyway, first round. This one's pretty obvious. If it's 17, CeeDee Lamb, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, one of those 3 players is available, and they pick them, I would go, that's cool. If they trade back, if you traded back in the first round and added picks, then I would like to introduce TCU's Jalen Reagor as a possibility to be the Dallas Cowboys' 3rd receiver. He would give you an electric punt returner, a guy that's a deep threat, a guy with the ball in his hands that's incredibly dangerous. Jalen Reagor, sweet. Now, those probably aren't realistic. Shout out to my guy Dan Turner, who posted this on Twitter today. Hello, Dan. Cowboys currently, with the salary cap, they spend $123 million on offense and $57 million on defense. So they probably need to commit some resources to defense, although I'm an offensive guy. Not offensive, but offensive for football. Now, first round, probably not going to happen. Let's move on to the second round. If Justin Jefferson out of LSU makes it to your second round pick, he would be a nice fit. I was a little bit surprised by his great combine. I didn't think he was going to run a 4.43. I'm not as high on Justin Jefferson as some people, but he does find a way to get open. He's not afraid to go across the middle. He runs hard after the catch. He wins vertically. LSU is kind of tricky, though. He almost never saw press coverage, very little press coverage. And so I have questions about Justin Jefferson, but at 51, I would take that shot. The other guy in the second round to replace Randall Cobb is Penn State's KJ Hamler. Now, he's little. He's like 5'8" and 170-something pounds. But dude can fly and dude can separate because his acceleration is absurd. His speed and his acceleration are great. Penn State's KJ Hamler is a big play waiting to happen and one of those guys that defenses will have to adjust just because he exists on the football field. So KJ Hamler, second round, possible to replace Randall Cobb. Now, if you think that's not realistic, you think, I need those first 2 picks to be on defense. That's cool. Luckily, I can take you to the third round. Now, these are guys that I may be higher on than some. Maybe you could get these guys in the 4th round, but I'm going to throw out the names with a very brief scouting report. KJ Hill at Ohio State. I believe he has the most catches in Ohio State history, but never like these giant stat lines. Last year, he didn't have giant stat lines. He's a redshirt senior, so he's a little bit of an older prospect, but what he does is get open. Ran a 4.6 at the combine. He's not fast. He's not real big. He's not a jump ball guy. He's not a deep threat. What he is a slot receiver that maybe I would say he's the best slot route runner in this draft class. So that's what he does. He manipulates footwork and speeds. He understands how to get guys turned the wrong way. He's a route runner who catches everything. Not the biggest catch radius, so maybe that is the scouting report of a guy that you don't want in the 3rd. Maybe you want him in the 4th. But I think KJ Hill is going to be a successful NFL starter in the slot because he's just a detail-oriented technician that doesn't drop the ball. So KJ Hill. Now, the opposite of KJ Hill, but I would also play him in the slot. Tennessee's Jajuan Jennings. How's this for a number from Pro Football Focus? He had 59 catches last year. On 59 catches, he broke 30 tackles. Jajuan Jennings is a guy that you would play. He ran a 4.7 at the combine, but that's not his game. His game is not running fast. His game is, you remember Des Bryant's prime when he had the ball? And it was just good luck tackling this monster. That's Jajuan Jennings. Big old hands, snatch the ball, big catch radius, and he's well over 200 pounds, and he is a freaking freight train. So you would play him as a big slot. I've got him as a third-round guy, so he's an option in the third round. But again, does a 4.7 for NFL teams maybe make him a fourth-round pick? Does KJ Hill running a 4.6 and not having any elite traits other than his route running make him a fourth-round pick? Maybe I can replace Randall Cobb in the fourth round with one of those guys. In the fourth, I also have Devin Duvernay, Texas. He's really good after the catch. He can burn. To me, he is a little bit stiff-hipped in terms of just the wiggle in route running. He manages to get open at Texas. Another guy that doesn't face a lot of press coverage. I believe he had 42 catches on screens this year, so it was a ton of screens being thrown to him. But he can win deep. He's really good in the screen game. He's built like a running back, and after the catch, he's tough to tackle. So he can burn, and he's good after the catch. Those two things, and he doesn't drop the ball. Those things make me say yes. Fourth round, Devin Duvernay. Try him as my starting slot receiver. Sure. And then fifth or sixth round, I would throw out James Prochet, the SMU wide receiver. To me, he's like a KJ Hill light, the Ohio State guy I was telling you. Great route runner. Prochet is a good route runner. He's like KJ Hill. He's not a fast guy. He's not a big guy. He's not a big catch radius guy. He can make some really silly catches. He's got really nice hands, but I think that his ceiling is an okay NFL slot, which if you're picking that in the fifth or sixth round, I think that works out. So those are the names that I could use to replace Randall Cobb for the Dallas Cowboys. What's my last headline here? Where Cowboys should spend. Oh, yeah. That was the point I was giving you from Dan Turner. So, like the Chiefs, they spent $107 million on offense, $98 million on defense. 49ers, $100 million on offense, $85 million on defense. Green Bay, $99 to $79. Baltimore, $56 million on offense, $98 million on defense. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Just do this by yourself, dude. New Orleans, $104 million on offense, $82 million on defense. So the Cowboys, according to most of the NFL, are way out of whack with all of their resources on offense. So maybe it does make sense. The rest of their spending needs to be on defense. You can get a $2 or $3 million, $4 million receiver to try to fill your hole at that slot spot. Maybe it is just Tavon Austin on a super cheap deal. So then I'll go draft a guy that makes nothing to be that guy. But yeah, the rest of that money needs to go to the defense because right now they're a little out of whack with that, and they'll figure it out. Remember to leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I don't always have content in mind. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page and you have the notifications on. Click on the little bell. Check 1053thefan.com every day. I'll see you guys on the radio.